Well, I've read all the comments, seen all the questions. Can we have a tour of your shop? Can we see the race shop? What's RUPW? What's Racers New and Used Parts Warehouse? Do you have a job? Does Danny race for a living? Well, we're going to answer all the questions next. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Billy Dietrich, sprint car mechanic and driver. I've been around racing my whole life, and it's pretty much all I know. We created this channel to share the good and the bad and everything in between. Our crew may not be the most experienced or professional, but we get it done and we have a good time doing it. We'll show you what it's really like racing weekly at some of the best tracks in central Pennsylvania. I'm also going to share some sprint car tutorials, mechanics, parts, and whatever else I feel like. So like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. Enjoy the ride. Yeah, boy. All right, so come on in. We're going to show you the race shop here at Racers New and Used Parts Warehouse. This is where all the work goes down. There's the original Double D right there. He's working hard today. But all right, back to the show. This is our race shop. Just give you a little backstory on our business. Racers New and Used Parts Warehouse. We sell new sprint car parts here, me and Danny and our dad. Our dad started the business in 1996, and it's evolved over the years to where it is today. Originally, the business was Racers Used Parts Warehouse. When Dad started in 96, we sold 99% used parts, and that was it. We did a bunch of buyouts. People brought their stuff here, just tons of used parts. Then over the years, that's changed with the evolution of the internet and the smartphones and all the pages on the internet. We've gradually gone over to new parts, and Danny does a good job with all the new parts. He takes care of all the new parts inventory. But this is our shop where we do all our rebuilds and all our racing out of the shop. And we'll just give you a little tour of the shop here real quick. All right, so you walk in the door. We just did. Of course, we got, like I said, we got our dad here. This is his desk. This is his little hangout area. If you have any questions, you can call and ask for Dan. He can give you a little racing history. But we got our workbenches over here. This is Dad's workbench, Danny's work area. Very heavily used area for sure over here. Lots of work getting done. We're working on the rear end. We do a lot of rear end rebuilds here. We'll get to that in a second. And like I said, this is our race shop as well. You can see the race car over there. And rear end rack. Like I said, we do a lot of rear end work. Rear ends coming in, going out. So that's just kind of where they arrive and where they end up when they're finished, ready for pickup, nice and clean, ready to rock and roll. We got our shipping table over here. We ship a lot of parts out. Of course, there's one of our other mascots, Whitey, aka Little Freddy, and Honey Crisp is here as well. So it's our shipping table. Dog's down there. And if you ever caught any of our YouTube live videos on Friday, we also hang out here and have breakfast in the morning, coffee. But we move over to this side of the shop. This is where I work at. Like I said, the race car's in here. I'm in the middle of rebuilding rears, which is what I seem to do a lot of the time around here. My workbench, my parts washer, my tools. It's a little messy, but it's I'm using it every day. So you stroll over here. We got some cool stuff on the wall, some old pictures, paintings, stuff. My dad up there and a couple of me. And then, of course, more paintings and pictures over here, and the restrooms in there. So, and of course, we got probably the most important part of a garage is the refrigerator, where the beverages are. We have that in here. But this is our This is our race shop and our workshop. And at one point in time, when myself, Danny, and our dad raced, we had all 3 cars in here, and we all raced out here, so it was pretty busy.
This is our warehouse. This is where I spend most of my time. We keep all our parts for customers. A lot of customers, they show up, they tend to just walk in the warehouse here. Nowadays, they don't really always walk next door. So around here, we got a lot of inventory that we built over the years. We didn't always have racks like this and inventory like this, but you know, it's become a thing where we gotta stock a lot of brake stuff and suspension parts. And right now, we got some cars in for Maxim waiting to be picked up. Carry a lot of wings. Just all around the downstairs here, we have a lot of inventory that kind of got stacked in a small space. You know, kind of stacked in here with a bunch of bodies. You know, we got a bunch of body parts here, and no more rear bumpers and Nerf bars and front axles, and the list goes on. We got behind these wings here, there's fuel tanks and seats and radiators and just a lot of stuff. We tend to carry right around 150 tires throughout the summer. Now that we got right rears back, we try and carry every size there is for our customers, so they can come here and get what they need. Of course, we got fronts and race savers, and like I said, we got a bunch of rears sitting back there right now. Sometimes customers show up and the tires are falling over, kind of like they're starting to do here.
Yeah, we're starting to lose that power right there anyway.
You know, we just can't keep them all stood up sometimes. So, like I said, we've got seats and radiators and rears and a bunch of wings, and it's something we've had to do, build our inventory over the years to just keep up with the flow of traffic and customer base that we have. And next, we'll go upstairs. We'll show you upstairs. So something I thought about here before we go upstairs is back when we first built this warehouse, we brought the business down from the sheds up at the house where Dad worked out of. Obviously, before we had the building next door that Bill works out of. This was our desk. We would come down from the house and sell parts out of the warehouse here, used parts, and this was Dad's desk that he sold parts from. So here, it doesn't really get used for much other than throw shit on, but yeah, just a little backstory. This is our little stand-up desk, Dad called it, and it served its purpose, but it doesn't get used very often, as you can tell. It's got cobwebs and dirt and crap all around it, but just a little cool little part of history here, RUPW.
All right, so our warehouse is 2 stories. We were just downstairs. Now we're head upstairs.
Come on up. Water's warm. This is where I spend, like I said, pretty much all my time is right behind this glass case, doing inventory, pricing parts, making sure we're up to date on everything we've sold to keep our customers supplied and happy, and keep our pricing current, so that way we're not overpricing people. We're losing money, obviously. So we got our new section here. This whole side of the warehouse, basically upstairs, is all new. Used to be, this was all used. You know, we used to be able to, Dad used to say we only had one rear end. You know, we were only allowed to stock 1 rear end, which we've seen that's changed, or, you know, 2 sets of headers, you know, just stuff like that. Now we've evolved into this where we got behind Bill here, there's probably 15 sets of headers back there along the wall. A little messy at times, but yeah, the other side of the warehouse here, on this side is basically our used parts. On this side other than our fittings here, which Bill handles the inventory on that. But this is our used section here, which used to be the whole upstairs. This whole wall right here. This used to be the whole warehouse. Now it's just, can't get it. Like Bill said, Facebook and the internet has just killed that for us.
Yeah, so we got all these shelves are somewhat full of used parts. But not a ton.
It's not like it used to be. This whole back wall used to be nothing but engine parts. You come in here and you can see 5 or 6 injections sitting up top there for sale, and you couldn't keep them on the shelf hardly. Just the way this world's changed, and being able to get good used parts, and we got so much new inventory now that a lot of guys don't even walk to this side anymore to look at used parts. They come up the steps and stop at the glass counters, and we pull the parts for them.
All right, just to give everybody a little idea what we stock here, I'm just gonna walk around the shelves and show everybody what we got. Yeah, okay. Well, in '96, I took a crash at Lincoln and put me out of commission for a couple of years, and really I never came back at that point. I mean, I was at that point in my life where, best part was behind me. So anyway, when that took place, I did do some racing with the boys in 358s and that type of thing for a couple of years. I enjoyed that, but then got where I'd seen her watch those guys and race myself. So I eventually quit. And then I started this business, because we had a lot of equipment from when I raced and just a lot of stuff to get rid of. And so in '96, I started Racers Used Parts Warehouse. And everybody thought I was crazy, but anyway, I did it. And I turned out to be the only person in the country back then doing it, full time. And we had tons of customers and just buying parts everywhere from here to Minnesota and down to Florida and you name it. We went and got it. People brought us stuff too. Back then, everybody didn't have the internet, and that was becoming a new thing. Well, pushing forward, 5 years went past. Everybody seemed to, get acquainted with the internet and people selling stuff on that, and it helped us too because we sold a lot of stuff on the internet too. But on the other side of the coin, we weren't getting the stuff to sell either because people could advertise the equipment and sell it themselves, and I understood that too. So the Racers Used Parts Warehouse was kind of dwindling back then. Danny was about ready to get out of high school, and I told these guys, I said, well, we'll have to look at new stuff, and that suited
suited those guys too. So, you know, shortly thereafter, we started selling new stuff, and now 99% of our sales is all new stuff. You know, there is some used stuff up there, but it's hard to get because everybody sells it themselves nowadays. So we have a good inventory of new stuff, literally anything you need. We have engines at times, cars, trailers, so on and so forth. Just to buy anything a racer needs to buy. Engines have became a tough thing because engines are now such a high ticket item, and if you really don't have the biggest and the best, nobody's interested. So the engines are a little iffy, but literally everything else we've got it here. Wheels, tires, fuel, new stuff, oils, anything on that race car, you know, we've got it here, including cars themselves. We sell Maxim cars, sell all we can get usually. So that's been good to us. Here it is, 2023, and of course I got older, and so did the boys, and they're doing a heck of a job. I pretty much turned it over to these two guys, 4 or 5 years ago, and it's going good. Don't see a point of changing anything, and so I'm happy with the business. Business is, like I said, good. They can call here and talk to two racers, current racers, and that's a good thing. Business has been good. The economy is the only swing thing right now. I mean, it's hit and miss. You know, these tracks have a good night, quite a few fans, and then the following week they only got a half turnout as far as fans go. You know, so trying to get this economy part behind us to where prices just on everything went up so bad over the past couple of years. I can understand a lot of people can't afford to go to the races, and I appreciate, you know, their thoughts, and I wish everybody it was old times again, but it's nothing we can do about it except work to try and make it as good as we can, and continue on. So I enjoy talking to you folks. I'm glad Bill and Danny decided to do this. It does let people know what we do, and that's important. That's all we do. I mean, we just got tons of new stuff, and we ship every day, UPS, and I'm glad I got to talk to everybody, and thanks for listening, and spread the word. You know, we're in business to stay, and we'll be here good, bad, or ugly, and thanks for looking at us and taking a look at what we do here. So long.
Well, we touched on some of the services we do here as far as like rear end rebuilds, and we showed the inventory and all that stuff. But I also wanted to tell you a little bit more about the things that we also do here. Like I said, we do rear end rebuilds. We showed you that. We test steering boxes. I don't rebuild the steerings here, but we do test them here. Test and rebuild power steering pumps. Dyno shock. We have a shock down here. We dyno shocks here again, but we don't rebuild them in-house. Torsion bar dyno servicing, we do that all the time. Guys getting a tangle or crash, and they bring their bars over, bring their shocks over, we check them out. Just had a guy this week bring me a rear end over, he get upside down, just wanted the axle checked. So, you know, we do offer a lot of services here like that. Make up BMRS hoses, any kind of custom line you need. We make tons of hoses. So there's some of the services we provide. Also wanted to touch on the customer service, I guess you could say. You know, Danny and I, you know, we've been this is all we've ever known. This is all we've ever done. So, if you're out there and you're racing or you're getting started or what have you, and you have any questions, you feel free to call us. I tell everybody this, when they come here and buy parts from us, or if they're just calling me on the phone, if you need anything, give us a call, stop in. I don't have to be selling you something. We enjoy seeing our customers be successful, have success on the track. And, that's different for everybody. It's not always winning the race. It's just sometimes being successful, just being out there and making the laps, So we're more than glad to help. And you don't hesitate to ask is where I'm going with this, Even at the track, we offer track support. We're at the races. That's another thing to keep in mind. Me and Danny, especially Danny, races so much, and there's all these different tracks, really all over the country. So there's a lot of tracks that he's seen, and there really isn't much that we haven't seen when it comes to issues with cars or things that happen. But track support, if you're at the track, you need something, you ask a question. Come up and ask us a question. Obviously, if we're racing, we got time for a short question, or maybe even give you a hand, But don't hesitate to get in touch with us. We're here to help. We're not just here to sell parts, but give you advice and help you out. There's a lot of things that we kind of take for granted, but it really isn't. It's not common knowledge, especially if you're just getting started. Whether it be squaring rear end up, that's a common thing. Probably the next highest thing on the list people run into is getting brakes on the car. They can't figure out how to get the brakes on the car. So there's just two perfect examples of, technical questions people have for us. Give us a call, stop in, shoot us a message on Facebook, check out our Facebook page, and we're more than glad to help you. And like I said, don't hesitate to ask. Well, we talked about new cars here at RUPW and how we're a Maxim dealer. So I wanted to touch on a pretty hot topic of recently in the last year or so. The availability of getting new cars has been an issue with really ever since COVID, and everything went downhill from there. But we are on a constant rotation of chassis builds. We're on the order sheet constantly. So every, let's just say 6 weeks or so, we get an order of new cars. And the reason I'm telling you this is, if you're in the market for a new car, they are still available. These cars that are sitting there right now are already sold, but you need to get on the order list, whether it's through us or through somebody else, because you can't just pick up the phone and go get a new car. They're just not sitting around anymore. The Maxim cars aren't. So, that's the first thing. You just need to, if you want a new car, you call us, get on a build sheet, the list, and then we'll get your build sheet completed when the car order comes up. Also, I want to touch on something we do here, another service we provide is we build complete cars. We build, I would say, custom cars as far as rollers. We start with our Maxim chassis, and then we've had, multiple times over the years, many times we've had guys, want a complete car. And what makes them custom would be, whether what components you want. Where it could be anywhere from the color of the car down to the bolts and nuts that we use to build the car. We get guys that want, just standard hardware, standard components versus, the lightest you can get, lightest bolts, rears, on down the line. So that's a service we provide here as well. If people are from out of the area, maybe, or even local people don't have time to build the car, or they have a sponsor who wants to buy them a new car and want a complete roller. So we've done it all ways, anywhere from 100% complete minus the engine to people want, they got their own fuel pump, or they got their own MSD ignition, or they got their own shocks. So it's a whole package. We work together, work up for everybody. So keep that in mind too. If you're ever in the market for a complete car, we do it here, and we have all the equipment here to do it. All the parts are in inventory. So it's another service we provide here at Racers Doing Used Parts Warehouse. Well, there's your shop tour. Race shop, workshop, warehouse, Racers New and Used Parts Warehouse. Danny works here, I work here. It's our full-time job. We're here 6 days a week. And we have a lot of customers. You know, we sell a lot of parts to people all over the world, not just here in the USA and Pennsylvania. We sell parts to Canada. We ship them to Australia. You know, we got teams come in, you know, outlaw teams come in from out of town, all-stars. They come here and buy their parts, you know. So check us out online. We got a Facebook page. Check us out on there. Send us any messages if you have any questions. If you need any parts, we ship out UPS daily. And like I said, we're here 6 days a week. Give us a call. Ask for me, ask for Danny. We'll fix you up with everything we can. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope you liked the video. You understand now what we got going on here. Check us out. Like, subscribe. Hit us up on our website, BillDietrich.com, DannyDietrich.com. He's got merch on there. And we'll hope you liked the video. Hope we you know, showed everybody what they're looking for here when they have all these questions about what we do. Not a lot of free time between working and racing. Thanks for tuning in. See everybody next time.